The geopolitical scenario is as such nowadays. Whatever happened for the last 2 years by China, the entire world is not happy with them, and a lot of businessmen is shifting from China to India.
India will become the #1 economy in the world.
Mr. Ghosh, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Today, we are going to talk about this whole propaganda going on about India and how it's poised to take on China. And according to what the policymakers see it, it's going to be the medium, the small, and the micro sector that is going to eventually lead this phenomenal growth as it did in China.
Okay.
Your thoughts on that?
You have to understand there is 750 million people all over the world. Population out of that 300 million is China and India. So 42% of the population of the whole world is in between these two countries. So if anybody wants to replace China, it is only India who can replace, but it is not a job of 1 year. It will take 8 to 10 years time. A lot of companies have already shifted to India, like Samsung, like iPhone. They have already started factory in Bangalore. Samsung is in Greater Noida. They are making 100,000 mobiles per day in Greater Noida, and they are exporting also from here to all over the world. You have to understand, the other thing, if any product, if you will make in India, and India is surrounded by so many ports, so wherever you put the factory, you can get a access of 100, 200 kilometers, the nearest port. In Gujarat, you have a port. In Chennai and Kakinada, you have a port. If you go to west, Mumbai is a very big port. East, Haldia is also a very big port. So everywhere is surrounded by the ports, so that you can make the material and export very easily. Basically, the main advantage in making in India, because the labor cost, land cost, and the ports, all are, nearby and very less cost compared to their country. So if they make the same product in Germany, South Korea, or any other America, any other place, and sell all over the world, it is comparatively less profitable, because their land costs are very high. Their wages of the staff are very high. Transportation is also very high. You cannot keep a general manager is as whatever salary, because it has to be as per the government rules. So that is the advantage and disadvantages. So that is the only reason all car manufacturers who were previously importing the accessories and assembled in India, now they have all started in manufacturing in India. Maruti is already for more than 30 years, 38 years, and Honda, Hyundai, all other cars, Tata has already purchased, what you can say, Range Rover. So that is also started manufacturing here. So all other cars, they have started manufacturing in India and selling all over the world because of that reason. And
I do understand the magnitude of the change that has occurred in India. However, as I was reading some reports, even industry reports, or even government policy makers reports, there's a lot of there's a lot of mismatch between the government macro policy and what's being implemented at the state level. Because these are the ideas the government, the BJP government, or any government would love to see this, but at the state level, the implementation is not, due to lack of funds or technical expertise. What are your comments?
Basically, you have to understand one thing. When such a huge, paradigm, what you can say, transfer is happening. So, in at the time of starting, there will be some ifs and buts, and some problems are there. That government is plugging out everyday basis. We all chambers are working very relentlessly to, speak. Speak with the government. What are the problems is coming and how to sort it out. That is happening everyday basis, and this government is very much interested to make India is one of the largest hub in the world within 2030, because government of India has already announced it into after 2030 they don't want to import anything from outside. Everything has to be made by make in India. So basically, pan India MSMEs and startups are coming in a very big way. We are working on that simultaneously. All joint ventures. Already 25 companies from Germany of solar and biogas has landed in India. 22 companies from Norway. They already came from solar and green hydrogen. They are one of the best. So simultaneously, a lot of other companies are also from various countries. 65 countries, 65 companies have already been registered in UP, Uttar Pradesh. And already two companies have started. One is Samsung, which I have already explained to you, and another leather company is also started in Agra in a large scale to export, all leather products manufacturing in India. So it is not true. There is a huge mismatch or something like that. We are plugging everything. This is not called a mismatch. Whatever the problems are coming up, day-to-day basis, and how can, the government of India and the chambers can make it as easy as possible for the, foreign companies, because previously it will take, 6 months time to company registered in India and complete the whole process. We have requested the government, it should be done within 21 days, maximum 30 days, not more than that, because nobody will wait for long. So you have to plug internal all, departments in such a way, all, approval should be made, within 21 days time. So this all is happening because, it was not like that in such a large way previously. So now it is started happening. So government is also taking day by day, whatever the, possible best steps can be taken to help the industry. So a lot of, industries are coming up from across the world, and they are looking India, as a replacement of China. Company like Google, they have announced they are coming up with a very big, huge investment in India in the coming 2 years' time. They are going to open a AI center, artificial intelligence center in India very soon. And simultaneously, Elon Musk has also announced, I am coming to India in a very big investment. Amazon is already invested. Now they are also increasing their investment. So, once these big giants will come to India, they will bring their ancillaries also, because, they will have, they will be happy with the ancillaries. Whatever the plant they are taking, in India, they will give a place for the ancillaries inside the plant, and they have contract, you make the product for us, make the product completely, and complete product you supply to us. So you did not to sell anywhere.
Sorry, I can understand the computer expertise in India, but when we look at ancillary units or smaller industry, it's at the cost of, pardon my saying so, I've been to rural India, and the first point that strikes me is the expertise at that level is absolutely different. Handicrafts, pottery, agriculture, all that comes to mind. And secondly, the skill base of the people may be a mismatch to what the industry wants.
Basically, what is happening previously, as I said, everything is changing very fast. Previously, the skill training was not very much aggressive in India. Now it is very, very aggressive for giving the skill training to all sectors. So government is supporting the various, chambers and other, institute to give the training for the skilled level. Skilled level should be ready for the industries. And second thing I can share with you, we are coming up with a very big, one of the world's largest global summit on 12 subjects. And I just want to focus. I will come back to the detail later. We are also doing, 3 days CEO and startups conclave. Why we are doing this? We are, calling 300 startups, 100 unicorns, and 250 250 CEOs of the corporates, and 10 large PSUs, 17 banks, SEBI, the government funder, and private funders from USA and Dubai, and angel investor. Our job is to, within these 3 days, our job is to get funding to the startups by the PSUs, by the corporates, and by the banks. Because in India, the trend is now started. Once MSMEs and startup has to make a product, they don't have the funds or the factory or infrastructure. So now companies like Reliance, Adani, all other big companies, they cannot make, the new product because it will be very costly. So what they have started doing now, the corporates, the PSUs, they are all started, funding to the startups, 3, 4 startup funding. And once the finished product will be made, they will take, 80% of the profit and 20% of the profit will be taken by the startups. So this formula is working very well in India. It started now. So we want, this 300, 400 startups, we should start, funding to them. And it will take, 6 months time. 2 months we will take for funding. And another 4 months we will take for the machineries. Because, whatever the product they are going to manufacture, they will bring the machine either from China, Korea, Germany, or in other European countries or US. So it will take 3 to 4 months time. So within these 6 months time, they don't have the capacity to keep a 5, 6 lakh rupees of person who can elaborate them how to produce the material, what is the technology, the material you are going to produce. So that support also chamber is giving. We are giving a complete package. First, we are funding the startups. Second, we are tied up with, Serum Institute for Industrial Research, 90 years old company. They have a incubation center. So their PhD and master's people will teach the startups how to make the product from zero to finish, technology transfer, laboratory testing, from where they will to buy the raw materials, how to do and make the costing, profitability. So all these things they will give training to the startups within this 6 months time. And when the startups will get the funds, then they will take their own fees because nobody can do a free lunch. They are also a very big institute, and if 300, 400 startups to be educated, so it's a huge expenses. Once it is successful, we are as a chamber, we are going to do a very fast in Calcutta, Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad, the main cities of India. So we will crack there, and we will make a muhim, what you can say, revolution in startups in the all over the country, because we need 6,000 to 10,000, 15,000 startups to start. All these products, India is also importing 300, 400 types of product. All has to make by the startups. Like, I can give an example. LED light was not making in India previously. Now the LED light we are making. Solar plate also we have started manufacturing. Already, 75% of the entire world's medicine we are manufacturing. We are number 1 producer of medicines. So all these things are coming up, and government is also pushing the chambers, the big corporates, PSUs, bring the startups and start the, start. I can give another example to you. We got a, a consignment from China at 2020 March of, mask, sanitizer, PP kit and everything. And it was in a very bad shape. They made with, panty or, bra, the mask and everything was made. And the Prime Minister was very much annoyed and returned the container to China. And at that point of time, he requested the big PSUs like Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum, and company like Maruti. See, why don't you develop, startups or MSMEs to make all these products? What is about that? If they can make, we can also make. So you will not believe, within 8 months time, 118 manufacturers in India started this product manufacturing, MSMEs, and we have already supplied 154 countries within 10 months time. So MSMEs and startups can do miracle if they get a support from the government. So government also understood that. That's why, they are very much liberal to help in whatever way possible to the MSMEs and the startups and the small entrepreneurs.
How do they compete in terms of pricing?
Indian companies are always have the advantage because, as I said, the labor cost, the land cost are very cheap compared to the foreign countries. Second thing, another advantage, like, startups and MSMEs, they don't know about the export market. But when they are doing the joint venture with the German company, Norway company, Australia, American company, so what they will do, they know the export market, and they will produce the material in India and sell it in their country as well as across the world from here. So it is a made in India initiative, but they will get the support of exports from the joint venture companies. So that is also an advantage. Regarding the pricing is concerned, if you are into the world market, if you want to sell your product, if you want to establish yourself in the whole world, you have to be competitive in pricing also. So that we know, and that India is not like that. We are not exporting. We are already exporting a lot of things, a lot of products in abroad. So then it means, we are competitive everywhere. So regarding these new products also, we should be competitive because, once you are not competitive, you cannot sell the product. So you have to see, how the production cost can be less, how the production capacity can be increased. Suppose you are making something in 1,000 pieces in India, but once you are a global supplier, so you will make 10,000 pieces in a day in India. So your production cost will go down. What is the difference between China and the whole world? Only the production. Because whatever product you are making 1,000 pieces or 2,000 pieces, they are making 20,000 pieces in a day. So their production price is so less, so they can make it, sell it to your country less at the price whatever product the current country is producing inside their country. So that is the main track. Now China is facing a very big problem. Lots of companies have closed down because of the capacity. People are not placing order to China, so they are also very much turmoil, and a lot of people leaving China to Europe, to Australia, to America, to other places, even in India also for jobs, because they cannot say anything against the government. So only thing they can do is they can leave the country and start their earning in a different place.
A lot of the competitiveness comes through the foreign exchange differential. The government of India will have to make the decision, or rather market forces will decide whether the Indian currency remains at 60 to, it's right now 60 to the Canadian dollar, but that gives you the advantage, competitive advantage. So market forces remaining the same, your Indian currency will be lower, and that will give it its competitive edge. But those are the unknown, or the unknown factors in the market that will play out as years go by. Tied to this is that China may lose a country like the US, but it has, if you look at the geopolitical presence of China, it's now in the developing world, Africa, and the foreign exchange advantage there is much greater. Your thoughts on that? Play out as years go by.
You must be knowing, in Indian government has already started using the rupees. We are purchasing everything from Russia by rupees only, not in dollars.
Yes.
And also Kuwait and different other countries, already 70 countries have said, yes, we are ready to deal with India with the Indian rupees. So there is a huge, shifting from dollar to rupees that will also help India. And all the entire European countries, we have a very good relationship for a long, long time, more than 70 years. So they all, whatever way India wants to deal with them, they are absolutely ready to do that. And Russia is already started doing that. So a lot of other, countries also will start. It will definitely help India, in terms of pricing and everything. So that is also another advantage. I mean, whatever you see, due to the geopolitical situation and the entire world, what is happening, India is now one of the popular country, for everybody's destination for production of materials for do business here. The reason is, you have to understand one thing: the total whole world is under tremendous recession during 2023. But the only one country who is increasing their GDP and who is making their profit, that is India, in the entire world. And India is not only growing, as our Prime Minister said, if India grows, the world grows. It is absolutely 100% true. Because today we are feeding all over the world to sustain. We have placed 400 cards to US, which will take 10,000 people's job and 4 years of manufacturing. Our Indigo has placed 500 flights, aircraft to France, which will take 15,000 people's job and 5 years of working. So in this way, India is already supplying drugs to each and everywhere. Now all the products which are going to made by Make in India, by the foreign countries also, and the startups, it all go to exports also. So we are helping the entire world to earn money to sustain in this during this very, very bad situation of recession. So that's why, we are so important. And, Australian PM is also saying, President is also saying, PM is also saying, Mr. Modi is a boss. The American president is also coming and hugging me on his own, because all these things are happening because India is a very important role in this region. And, Southeast Asia, China is a very disturbing country to other countries. So we are protecting, America, France, Australia, everybody's interest in Southeast, sea, and we are supporting them. So naturally, India is, and you can also very well understood, India is going to be a superpower very soon. Maybe by 2030, 35, India will be superpower, no doubt. So because all these things are happening in India and every whole world is coming to India to invest money. So naturally, the GDP will go up, and the economy also supposed to be go up. So it's a golden period for India and for the world also to put the business or to start the business in India and have a relationship, business relationship in India. We have a very much bad relationship with my one neighbor, Pakistan. So Pakistan is also entire Pakistani citizens and very big, all diplomats, bureaucrats. They have also started talking, we should start business with India because we have done a very big mistake to stop business with India. Without India, we cannot survive. So the situation is as such, because India has also done a lot of good work. Like, during the COVID, we have, invented the medicine, and we have supplied in 150 plus, countries the medicine, and whoever has not able to give money, we have supplied free of cost. And whoever has given to payment, they make the payment. So India, without payment or with payment, they not stopped, to giving the medicine to the whole world, which is a very big thing during the corona. So that is also, whatever we are thinking as a country, we are not thinking as a country for only for our country. We are thinking for global, global health. How can we do it? If you will see, Turkey turmoil due to earthquake, Indian, military flight has reached first, to Turkey. A lot of people has an intent, thinking India is against Muslims. But this is a Muslim country, and we don't have the very good relationship with Turkey also previous that. But we did the first thing because humanity is first. Politics is later on. So as humanity, India supported them as much as possible, and whatever they have required and whatever they have asked for, we have supplied immediately. So this is our country. Our country's main mantra is, what you can say, Vasundhara Kutumbam, whatever we are saying. We are, always a friendly country, and we are always, inviting the guests from all over the world to come to India, understand India, travel India, and, do business also in India.
One question comes to my mind, Mr. Ghosh. When I look at India's landscape, and I've been, as I said, to a lot of rural areas, there's this challenge of keeping the agricultural industry alive. And there's this temptation to go towards industry. And as I see it, a lot of the rural land has not only been taken by housing, which is heartbreaking, but also now by industry. So how is India going to make the two compatible, or not, not eat into the agricultural land and that?
As agriculture is concerned, we are very much, our Prime Minister and the entire government is giving very much trust, to develop the agriculture more and more. And we have already tied up with the best country in agriculture, Israel. So our lot of people have visited Israel, understand their technology, how they are doing it, and which is adopting in India. As for the land is concerned, there are huge land in India for agriculture. After doing all industrialization or infrastructure, whatever the various places we have developed, we have also developed a lot of other things like it is related to all these things, like our Prime Minister has made 100 small airports during entire India. So the small airports will help you traveling fast and with a lesser cost. So one station to another station you can go very fast. Number one, entire India has changed now with flyovers and number one quality of roads. So anywhere in India, if you want to go, you can go by car from Delhi to Bombay, Delhi to Chennai, Delhi to Bangalore. Everywhere the first class road is there. All flyovers is there. So, we are now capable not only by, train, we are capable by road, capable by train, and capable by flight also. So
but there's still the rural infrastructure that's not really...
Rural infrastructure, yes. But, rural infrastructure also, what I can give a small example. Indian government is making a second, train line through the rural areas from Delhi to Bombay, because Delhi and Bombay is one of the biggest place for the business. And the line we have already have inside the city, that already we have, but the second line which we are making throughout the rural areas, it will be taking 270 kilometer less, and it will be faster reaching to Delhi to Bombay. Like 7 o'clock in the evening, it will sit in the train. Morning 7 o'clock, you will be in Mumbai. You zero work in the whole day, and come back then train again, and the next day morning to Delhi. So this plus Bombay, Ahmedabad, Gujarat is also a very big place for our business. So super fast train from Japan, we have started from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, which will be starting across India over a period of time. So then first within 10 hours or something like that, or 7 hours, they can reach from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad to Mumbai. So these all things have started happening. Number one, to touch all the rural areas in one place. And you will not believe the one side government of India is making smart villages to stay, and the other side of the red line they are making industrial hub, logistic hub, food and beverages hub, recycling hub, healthcare hub. So all these things, and you will happy to know that 72% of the land has already been sold out, taken by the foreign companies and the Indian pan-India companies. So 72% land is already been sold out. So huge revolution is coming up. And similarly, the government of India is also thinking from south to north, east to north. Also, they will start making in this type of red line, which can go and reach, in a shorter period, and expedite the business faster. And everywhere it should be connected. So connectivity is concerned.
Mr. Ghosh, we'll have to have another session, because the most important question was about Kashmir, which is the place where I come from, and there's a lot of agro industry there, and I've seen a lot of fruit go waste there because they don't have those agro processing industries.
We can take a second session for that, and I will give you the all details what is happening.
I have fire drill going on here. So sorry about this, but
no problem.
But I'll put this on air in a day or two, and I'll let you know. Thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.